Right, let's need your advice here. So I've got Korvald, Fey Cursed King, and Voja, Jaws of the Conclave. So this is my new Jund sacrifice deck. And it was supposed to be my Elves deck, but now it's an Elf Wolf deck, so still not the Elf deck I wanted. And since Tulane is the ultimate commander for the Elf deck I wanted, but I should not build Tulane because I know what I'll do with it, I'm not going to build that. But anyway, the question is, see how much thicker these sleeves are? Look, they're both 100 cards, and Korvald is about 1.5 centimeters, 2 centimeters shorter than Voja. These sleeves are a lot thicker. Huh. I have to keep that in mind. Maybe they're better quality. Anyway, why I brought you here today on this beautiful April afternoon. Look at this. I've got this Growing Rites of Itlimoc. 2 and a green when it comes into play. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can show anybody an enchantment or, no, a creature. I should have put my glasses on. You may reveal a creature from those 4 cards. So you show off, look at the top 4, you can show off the creature, put it in your hand, and then put the rest in the bottom of your library. Beginning of your end step, if you control 4 or more creatures, you get Gaea's Cradle. So I want some big mana land. Let me turn the light. See if that helps. Yeah, it helps a little bit. I want a big mana land in Korva. But since I'll be killing a lot of my creatures, I'll be sacrificing them. It still has a high creature ratio. There's about 40 creatures. 39, and then I should have looked this up before I started the video, shouldn't I? So I didn't waste your time. Anyway, they both have high creature ratios. The thing is, though, I can look at the top 4 with Korvald, and if I find a creature, great, and I probably will. But if I'm killing my creatures, so I'm sacrificing them, then having 4 creatures on hand at any one time gets kind of iffy. And the longer this is an enchantment, the more opportunities my opponents have to destroy it before I can flip it. So there's that. And Voja has something a bit more guaranteed. I've had it in play before, maybe seen it on the videos. Yeah, might have seen it on the videos where I've been playing the game in the pub. So Voja has a Gaea's Cradle. Now, with Voja, the creatures are supposed to stay around. In fact, I have a lot. 4? Is 4 a lot in Commander? It feels like a lot. Anyway, I have 4 anti-board wipe spells. Creatures. I have 4 things that protect all my creatures in Voja. I don't have any of that in Korvald, because I can pretty much plan for everything to die and come back. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, Voja has Ghostway. You're going to wipe the board? Okay, all my creatures are going to check out until the end of the turn. I'm going to remove everybody from the game, and they'll come back later. Yeah, they've got a bunch of counters now. They'll come back without counters. I don't care. I'll still have them. Scott, Guardian of Faith. You're doing another board wipe. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? Are you playing Phoenix? My creatures are going to check out again, but instead of being exiled, they're just going to take a little break from reality. Phase out. He's a creature, he won't phase out, because any number of other target creatures, so he's going to take one for the team. He will eat the wrath of God. Everybody else is going to phase out until my next turn. What else do I have? Yeah, I've got my own Wrath of God. In fact, I played Wrath of God, and in response to my own Wrath of God, I did Ghostway. It felt funny, felt kind of dirty. I did it anyway. Do I have 4 of these? Yeah, there's a Semester's End. So one of the things about Semester's End is it targets the creatures. It targets the creatures of the Planeswalkers. So if I have anything with protection from weight in this deck, which I do not, Semester's End cannot check them out because they have protection from white and it targets. But they will come back into play with a +1/+1 encounter their creature and an extra loyalty of their planeswalker. So that's 3. I believe I have 4. Do I have 4? Anti-board white protection number 4. Well, I've got Heroic Intervention, doesn't really check them out. Indestructible and hexproof, which, as I understand, can be good. I thought I had... That must be what I was thinking of. 4. So that's Voja. Knocking these cards all over the place. Let's try this. Let's do just a quick, dirty shuffle. And if I did Voja, what would I get? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I get 1 creature. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get a creature. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 3. I have options for Growing Rites of Itlimoc. And all the creatures are expected to stay in play. I'm planning to keep them. I can't really do this as a Korvald because I haven't shuffled the land in, and it would not be a good test if I did what I just did with Voja, so I'm not going to do that. My feeling is Korvald should get the Gaea's Cradle. That's what I think. And Voja should get the Growing Rites. The question then becomes, okay, so I'm putting in a land that gives me nothing into Korvald, unless I have a creature. So I should put it in as an extra land. I should take something else out. I should not replace a land with Gaea's Cradle. I should replace a card, something else. Artifact, enchantment. I only have 1 planeswalker and he's not coming out for Cradle. No, 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 no. So I would need to take something out for the Cradle. I have 2 other decks with Cradles. I don't have to take it from Voja, but Edric, he's got a Cradle. It's a Gentleman Cradle, especially for him, and he needs it. Oh God, he needs to hit the ground running because he's all small creatures. He's got a couple mid-range creatures, not that many. So he needs to come down fast and furious. And that's why he has Winter Orb. So, Korvald, I'll figure out some way of giving you the Gaea's Cradle. And Voja, because I'm giving you an enchantment, I need to put in another land and take something out for the Growing Rites. How many lands do I have in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know I have more than 10 lands. Trust me. I don't smoke that much crack. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So he would have 36 lands if I just put this in. Which could be okay with Voja because he has so many mana elves. He's got a crap load of mana elves. He's got, let's count those. Okay, I've got 36 lands. How many mana elves? 1, 2, 3, 4, and fine land spells. So let's count those 2. Mana elves, fine land spells. So what's that? 5, probably? I don't know. I should talk before I get done counting. So 5 fine land spells or mana creatures. 6, but he needs another one. So 5.5. 6, because she needs, well, no, she can count herself, so that's 6.5. Let's see, 7. 8. Wonder if I missed any by going so fast. 9. 10. So I have 10 mana elves, 10 find land elves, 10 find land spells in combination. So a grand total of 10. Is 36 lands enough? Granted, when Voja gets going, I'll be drawing cards, but I need lands to get to that point. So 36 lands might be enough, and then I can risk this. It only costs 3. It'll get me another creature, more often than not. I'll try that. I'll try running Voja with only 36 lands. Because, I mean, the Cradle, if I don't have creatures, it's useless anyway, so it's kind of the same, kind of tit-for-tat trade. So he will get Growing Rites of Itlimoc, that becomes Itlimoc, Cradle of Gaea, at 36 lands. But he's got a lot of ways to cheat things out. I've got Defense of the Heart and all kinds of stuff. So I'll see if that works. I'll test that. I'll see if it works. But Korvald, for him to get the Cradle, I have to take something out. Do I want to just take out a land? Is that acceptable? Because he has 37 lands, but 3 of them provide colorless. One of them doesn't do anything, except go find other lands. How many fine land things does he have? 1. I should just take out the land block. He's got 1. He's got a soul ring, so I'll count that as 2 because it's mana acceleration. 3. That won't count because it's only 5 lands in hand, so we're still at 3. 4. That's not going to count because that can find the Cradle. We'll have to give up another land. So we're still at 4. I think we're at 4. Tell me where I am. 4 or 5? 4? Okay, 4. Thanks. Excuse me. 4, 5. Not looking at 6. 7. 8. Kind of. If anybody's got to fetch land. 8.5. 9. So 9. But Korvald has ways of cheating things into play too. He's got Akul the Unrepentant, and he has Birthing Pod. So if I take out a land and go down to 36 lands in Korvald, well, it would still be 37. Right now he has 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, he's got 38 lands. Really? He has 38 lands? Are you kidding me? 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, 31, 33, 35, 37. He's got 37 lands. Okay, he has 37 lands. And if one of them's a Cradle, that should still work. Shouldn't it? What do you think? Do you think it'll work? I think I'll try it. I think I'll give it a go. He doesn't have a lot of mountains. He's got more forest than anything else. I want to keep all the dual lands and extra mana producing lands. Definitely want to keep those. So if I take out a forest, and I put in a cradle, am I shooting myself in the foot? What do you think? Am I shooting myself in the foot? That's what the comments are for. Tell me. Tell me if I'm shooting myself in the foot. And then, since I have you all here gathered today on this beautiful sunny afternoon, something else I want to do with Korvald is I want to count. It feels off. It feels off. I've been building decks long enough that I started kind of getting a feel for when they don't look right, because I built a lot of bad decks. I built a lot of decks that aren't right. So I can kind of get a little feeling when it looks like they're about to go off the rails, when they can't do what they're supposed to do. So let's put the sacrifice I could sacrifice any of my creatures. I sacrifice any permanent to Korvald. He doesn't care. Just sacrifice it. Give me something. Land, artifact, your opponent's creature you stole. I don't give a damn. Just give it to me. But what I want to do is see if I have enough token generators, enough creatures or effects that produce more creatures for sacrifice. That doesn't really count. He kind of counts, but not fully, because he has to have an outside input against the things that I would sacrifice to. So let's put the sacrifice to effects here and the things that generate things to sacrifice there. I'm not going to count the crop rotation. So when something else dies, yeah. Okay, so he generates. She kind of generates, if I can figure out how the hell to draw 2 cards a turn without Korvald in play with what I have, which I haven't figured out yet. He kind of generates. She kind of generates because she steals, but it's only 1 turn. He definitely generates extra things to sacrifice. That generates extra things to sacrifice. That generates things to sacrifice. Maybe it's not so bad. That is a sacrifice effect. That is a sacrifice effect. That should get me things to sacrifice. Sacrifice effect. Well, it's only when I sacrifice a creature. When only I'm doing it already, so I can't sacrifice to her. She has to be sitting around, hanging around, sipping her cocktail, looking across the bar and see something get sacrificed, and say, "Oh, by the way, what color was that? Black and green? Okay, if you gain 2 life, you can spend it, and all your opponents have sacrificed a creature too. Would you like that?" Darling, of course you'd like that. Buy me another drink. That's what she would do. So she doesn't count. He is the same thing, only he's a lot more rough about it. He's in the biker bar beating the shit out of somebody when he sees something get sacrificed. Then he comes over and punches somebody in the head. That generates things to sacrifice. Wow. Maybe it's not so bad. That is a sacrifice outlet. That is a sacrifice outlet. Maybe it's not as bad off as I thought it was. That generates sacrifice. So that's a sacrifice outlet. So the things I have to not just sacrifice the creatures I'm casting, not just to go, oh look, I have a creature. Oh, I will sacrifice this one creature. The things that say, do you want multiple things that you can sacrifice? Yes? Okay, we will generate multiple things. Some you have to jump through some hoops, but we will do it. So she makes me jump through hoops at landfall, but she gives me things to sacrifice. He comes into play with 4 little squirrels that I can feed to a cool. If I can get him through, which should be too hard, he's a 6/5 trampler, for God's sake, flying. I should at least get an arcane signet out of it. If nothing else, I can blow up cubes quiet as Spike and get 3 1/1 saplings. Not going to want to cast it unless I have 5 or more cards in my hand, but that's good value. Him, every time I'm killing something, I'm getting a treasure to sacrifice. She grabs something off my opponent's board and feeds it to Korvald. He does the same thing, but he can do it every single turn with regularity. She can do it, but the way the deck is built, she can only really do it when Korvald is in play. I thought about getting a Skull Clamp. Because of her, and maybe I will. But I want the Secret Lair foil Skull Clamp, the really cool looking one. I do not like the one where the guy is looking away from him and the clamp is attached to the back of his head. The new one from the Commander set, I don't like that. The art just doesn't do anything for me. He looks like Lobot from Return of the Jedi with extra stuff on the back of his head. I don't like that Skull Clamp. He comes into play with 3 buddies. He, as long as I'm making tokens, makes more tokens. He comes into play with some buddies. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's 12. Sacrifice generators versus 6, 7 with Korvald. Sacrifice outlets. Again, this one is multiple, once per turn, but 3 at one go, once whenever I use it, and multiple as long as I have black and I have things that I could target. Maybe in better shape than I thought I was. It feels a lot better now that I went over the numbers. So anyway, that's the change to Korvald already. I just finished him last night, and I'm already making changes because that's what I do for your joy and amusement. So subscribe, like, ring that bell, do the shit, make a comment, have fun.